Hello, pocket knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Folder here. I want to do a very quick update on the Microtech stitch. I got it a few days ago, and I did some first impressions, and you always have first impressions anyway about things, no matter what. Uh, but after carrying it for a couple of days, I just wanted to just do this really quick update because there are two things about this knife that are that I think need to be just spoke about if you're interested in it, or if you have one, or if everyone else has experienced the same thing I experienced. Because I think both of these things I'm going to talk about really quick, are pretty unique. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, which is something that's not as prevalent as the main topic, is the pocket clip. Um, in the knife community, we recognize pocket clips, and I've heard criticisms of this pocket clip, and I've been leery of it. I've been worried about it bending and all other stuff that I've seen. I think there's a guy, I think I watched his video, Duty's Daggers, I believe it was, and he had the knife in his pocket and it bent out. And so I've been like leery about the clip, and also the criticism of the screws. The screws are, in the knife community, we this is a criticized thing when screws are sticking up like that. They're not countersunk. Um, so I think that the criticisms are valid. The guy, Dagger guy, Duty Daggers, his criticism is valid. Like you shouldn't have to worry about a pocket clip bending, and I think he might have mentioned the screws too. I'm not sure, but at any rate, I'm not saying no one and that the criticisms weren't stuff that I am also concerned with. But I will say this about the pocket clip. This is the first knife that I've ever had with a pocket clip that screws stick out, that they're not countersunk screws. That the screws, and it might just be me, it might be the pants I'm wearing, I'm not sure. The screws actually aided in the comfort and the way in which the knife sat in my pocket. Like putting it in, my pants sort of wrapped around the screws, and it gave it a secure feeling in my pocket. I didn't have any problem retracting it, and they weren't a problem. So the point is that we usually don't see this as a positive. We usually see this as a negative. You really want to see countersunk screws. You don't really want to see that. But I do want to point out that, like I said, it could be the particular pants. The material might have been thick enough to be the right, thickness for that. But I just wanted to point out that was, that positive. Now, the other thing is, and this has been spoke about this knife, is the incredible edge, cutting edge on this knife that's been coming out the factory. I agree with every single person that has ever spoke about the cutting edge, the factory cutting edge on the Microtech stitch being ridiculous. I agree. It is absolutely spectacular cutting edge. But I think that we're understating it. Now, I'm not saying that because this thing cuts paper and the cutting edge, we're testing the cutting edge when we get it, that means that it's going to be able to retain it, that it's going to have toughness, that it's going to be able to cut all other materials in a certain way, because I haven't cut anything with it other than paper. But my point is, I've never felt an edge cut paper the way this does. I think that means something. I'm not sure what it means yet. But what I'm saying is, all the knives we have, so I tested this thing against my sliciest knives. Just my Chaparral, which is ridiculously slicey blade stock, and my Warncliffe Delica, that's in K390 steel on top of that. I tested this thing, and I ain't tested, I'm talking about I did a comparison. And it blew both of them out the water. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. How could that be? How could this? And, I'm going to just, just real quick, just a couple of little light slices. This is some thick paper stock, but just some quick slices, right? Okay. You feel the way the blade actually goes through the paper, right? I can tell you right now, just through that one pass, that the K390 Delica went through easier than the Chaparral. Okay, just, like I said, this doesn't solve the world, but, yeah, yeah. I'm not really sure what that is. So I decided to pit this thing up against something that there's no way this thing should be able to slice better than this. These are brand new Irwin blades. These blades are very high end, very sharp. And this is a brand new blade. Yeah, there's something with that, guys. I don't know what that is. That thing cut through the paper easier than a brand new blade from a razor knife. I'm just telling you. So we keep saying that I've heard it numerous times now, that the M390MK, which is Microtech's proprietary metallurgy mixture for this knife. I know there is some difference. I don't know what the difference is. It was like a percentage of something more or something less. So whoever knows it and you want to just put it out there, you can. It's actually, I don't really care what it is. That's why I didn't bother looking it up before I made the video, because I don't really care. But what I am saying is it might not just be marketing. It might actually be something, because regardless of what, that should not pass through paper easier than this brand spanking new razor. It just shouldn't, and especially not these blades. These blades are ridiculously sharp. I mean, ridiculous. And it actually passed through the material easier and smoother than that. I can see, I think it's crazy that it's beating out these Spydercos. I even think that's crazy, but if it does, then so be it. But to beat out this, I don't know. So like I said, the jury's out on it. We'll see how it lasts. We'll see how cutting other materials, how the edge holds up. But just right out of the box, cutting through paper, I have never felt anything pass through paper like this knife. I'm just saying. So anyway, yeah, we'll keep carrying it and using it and keep putting updates out there as to how it is. But so far, I am so impressed with this knife. It is extremely impressive. Extremely. All right, that's all I got. Thanks.